Bruce Springsteen's children are unfazed by his legendary status. Despite being one of the most iconic and celebrated musicians of all time, Bruce Springsteen has revealed that his children remain largely indifferent to his decades-long musical legacy. The 75-year-old, born in the USA singer, who has sold millions of records worldwide and continues to perform to sold-out arenas, shared in a recent interview with The Times that his fame has had little to no impact on his three children: Evan, 34, Jessica, 33, and Samuel, 31. In a candid conversation, Springsteen opened up about family life, parenting, and how he and his wife, Patti Scialfa, also a member of the E Street Band, intentionally created a grounded and modest upbringing for their kids. "Except for a few guitars and a piano, you wouldn't know musicians lived here," he said, referring to their home. The couple made a conscious choice to raise their family away from the limelight, prioritizing normalcy over notoriety. The kids grew up in another house in town, a mid-sized home not unlike the ones their friends lived in, and we tried to keep a very natural domestic existence for them, Springsteen shared. "Anything else is a burden they don't need." While many children of celebrities grow up in lavish mansions and are frequently exposed to their parents' fame, the Springsteen kids were shielded from much of that lifestyle. For Bruce and Patti, being famous never meant that their children should be too. Instead, they focused on providing a stable and ordinary environment, one where their children could form their own identities, separate from their parents' legendary status. Springsteen noted that his children have always maintained a healthy disinterest in his music career. "They ignore it," he said plainly. "They might come to a show, bring their friends, but it's never been a central part of their lives." That disinterest is not rooted in disrespect, but rather in the natural separation the couple encouraged between work and home life. From an early age, the kids were surrounded by music, but not in a way that glorified it. Bruce explained that, unlike households where achievements and fame might dominate dinner table conversations, his home was more focused on personal connection and emotional grounding. This approach seems to have worked. All three of Springsteen's children have forged their own paths, free from the shadow of their father's success. Evan pursued a career in music management, while Jessica became an accomplished equestrian, competing at the Olympic level, and Samuel serves as a firefighter in New Jersey. Back in 2017, Springsteen reflected on his role as a father in an earlier interview. "We had our kids late. I was 40 when our first son was born, and they showed a healthy disinterest in our work over all the years," he said. He acknowledged that his children had musical interests of their own, but those interests rarely overlapped with his own. They had their own musical heroes, they had their own music they were interested in. They'd be pretty blank-faced if someone mentioned a song title of mine. For someone with 20 Grammy Awards, an Academy Award, and a Presidential Medal of Freedom to his name, Springsteen's comments are a refreshing glimpse into his humility and dedication to being a father first, and a rock star second. His story counters the narrative that children of celebrities are destined to live in the shadows of their parents or take on similar roles. Instead, it highlights the value of intentional parenting, modest living, and giving children the freedom to define themselves. Bruce's relationship with his children stands as a testament to the idea that fame, no matter how big, doesn't have to interfere with family life. Rather than forcing his legacy onto his kids, he allowed them to find their own paths, and they did so with independence and grace. Even in their rare appearances at his concerts, the focus remains on enjoyment rather than idolization. For the Springsteen kids, Bruce is not the boss, but just dad. And that's exactly how he wants it. As Bruce continues to perform and connect with audiences around the globe, he does so knowing that his most meaningful legacy lies not in the records he sold, but in the quiet, grounded lives of his children. It's a reminder that even the biggest stars are just parents at heart, wanting nothing more than to raise good people who live lives of their own choosing.